Hello, people of YouTube, 'tis I once more, the Crimson Assassin, and I am here today to give you guys another anime movie review for Anime Movie Month. And why am I talking in this very low voice with a hoodie on and everything? I don't know, but because I just got this and it's actually really nice. I love this sleeve hoodie. I guess I always wanted one of these, so alright, but anyway, regardless. We're here today to give you guys another anime movie review, and today, people of YouTube, I thought of no better anime movie to talk about than the anime movie we are going to discuss today. First off, I'd like to say a very special thank you to Trance, the Cowboy NC48, as he was the one who recommended me to watch the anime we're about to review today, Ninja Scroll. Let's begin, shall we? Without this hoodie on. Okay. So, the story of Ninja Scroll follows Junbei, a wandering ninja mercenary who was just walking one day when he sleeps in like this castle-esque kind of place where who enters the castle place, whatever, was this rock monster, and he was carrying this girl, and he was like legitimately about to rape this girl. And Junbei ends up kind of saving her in the process, and the two meet. Now, because of this interaction, what causes is that the 8 kimono demons, or whatever they're called, is now after Junbei for the death, because of the death of this rock monster thing, as well as their head leader Genma. And with the help of this old guy who hires Junbei in order to hunt down and actually take down these 8 demons, also with the help of the girl who you also rescued at that same day, they decide to go forth and hunt down, kill those guys, and take names and kick ass, and that's pretty much the basis of the story, without kind of giving too much, as well as that's pretty much how I could at least piece together it in my mind. My apologies for my bad descriptions of movies. So anyway, people of YouTube, like I said before, I want to give you I want to give a very special thank you to Trans Cowboy NC48, who recommended me to watch Ninja Scroll. I was in a live stream and he was there and he recommended me to watch the movie. So I did. I just finished it right now, from start to finish, and what do I think of Ninja Scroll? Well, here it is now, shall we? Well, the first and biggest praise, right off the bat, I can give Ninja Scroll is the animation. Considering that this anime was made in 1993, it looks really good. This movie has aged quite well. It looks and sounds and feels amazing. Probably one of the best old looking anime films I've seen in Anime Movie Month. I had a blast just looking at the various art and the various scenery, as well as the action. The action in the film is really good. It does have a lot of fast-paced sword fighting moments. It's a really good, really enthralling, and it will probably, will keep you to the edge of your seat in most situations. There's a few fight scenes that kind of were like, okay, sure, whatever. But for the most part, the action was really good, and also the animation. I mean, my god, people of YouTube. For an old anime, it looks really good. So I have to give this anime praise for the art and animation. It's really good. Two things to make a story really good is the story and the characters. Oh, wait. Did I just say there's two stories? Okay. The two things to make an anime great is the story and characters. The story of the anime, it's quite basic, and, but it will keep you interested, and it kept me invested throughout the whole movie. About this wandering samurai who, I'm sorry, not samurai, this wandering ninja who's pretty much just, not really wanted, but, he gets hired by this old dude, and he does this task for this old dude, and as well as he interacts with this one girl, and I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of, basic, but but it will keep you engaged, and I did keep me engaged throughout the whole film. The story was actually pretty good. Narrative wise, though, we'll get to that in a little bit. The characters of the film were all really good. I especially loved Kagero, as I found that she was actually very interesting, and as well as I like her dilemma, as well as like her past as well. She's a very mysterious Kunoichi ninja girl, and I actually really did like the relationship that she shared with Junpei. Now, at first, their relationship starts off pretty rocky, and they don't really get to like be formally, allies until somewhat towards the middle and the very end of the film. But once you finally make it towards the end of the film, you do start to realize that, yeah, these two kind of share a really nice connection with each other. They really genuinely just have... honestly, I feel like... Because I know what they went for. They did went for the cliche kind of romance thing at the end. But honestly, I felt like their relationship just should have been completely platonic. Nothing really serious, or nothing seriously romantic. But I felt like they just share a lot of mutual respect for one another, and I honestly feel like their relationship should have just been platonic instead of romantic, but it was warranted, and I did like their relationship at the end, but in my opinion, I felt like they should have just been more platonic than anything else. The old guy, who just helps Junpei, or not who doesn't really help Junpei, but follows kind of Junpei around as he's doing his task for him, he's a so he doesn't really do much as for like story purposes, but I understand what he was for. But honestly, he kind of pretty forgettable and not really worth mentioning. He's kind of boring. The main character himself, Junpei, pretty one note, and that's kind of sad to say because he's actually a very interesting character. However, they don't really they don't really talk more about his past. Like they talk about it briefly in this one scene, but then it was never discussed and never talked about and never explained again. I would have liked to see more of Junpei's past because it has ties to this old man's story, and you find out that the main guy, the antagonist of the film, they knew each other and they had like some beef, and I only wish that they really would have touched and explored more about their relationship and their rivalry or whatever. And that's pretty much it. Well, I would say prose-wise, there were a lot of issues. There were a lot of issues that I had with this film too, by the way. The narrative of the story. They didn't really have much of a narrative. Like, sure, there were a few moments where the characters, tell each other information, and they tell each other, they interact and whatever, but not in the way that, like, it really, like, who are these 8 mysterious, people who are going after Junpei and the other people? Who's this main antagonist that, who has some beef with Junpei? Again, going back to what I said before about not really revealing much of Junpei's past. See, the narrative of the story is not that compelling, but the story itself is good, but the narrative, pretty weak writing, I must say myself. Like, the writing was pretty bleak. The last climax of the film, I was actually surprised on one thing that they did in the past, or in the climax, on the ending of the film. I was surprised about one thing, and then it actually did caught me off guard. But I felt like the actual ending fight of the film is pretty anticlimactic. It just ends. Well, not really just ends, but some Deus Ex Machina bullshit happens, and honestly, that was annoying. That was really, really annoying. Like, how? Just how? It's just convenient that this one thing was on the ship, or not this one thing, but it was like this huge thing that they were kind of foreshadowing throughout the whole film, and well, not really like foreshadowing. They discussed it, but this one thing happened. Shit hit the fan, and it ends up taking the main antagonist down for Junpei. Okay, sure, whatever. Again, I've already stated this before. I only wish that they explored more of the characters' backstories, especially Junpei's, as I feel like he was because he's the main character. He does warrant a backstory. And also Kagero. I only wish that she actually had a more linear backstory. They only touched upon a few things about her, and that's pretty much it. The fact that how she's like kind of immune to poison. The fact that no man kind of wants to fall in love with her because of the fact that she's kind of immune to poison. I only wish that they would have explored more of Kagero, and especially Junpei. That old dude in the anime doesn't really do nothing. He should have just been replaced with someone else who was probably more compelling than anything. Some of the fights, actually, also one thing about the anime that I need to mention. Some of the fights that happen in the anime kind of were tensionless, because I feel like you already knew the outcome when the fight even started. Like we obviously know the main character is gonna win. Obviously, there's no, he's the main character. No one can beat the main character just because he's the main character. And honestly, it just loses a lot of tension in that regard. And that's pretty much all I could really say. That were my issues with Ninja Scroll. Overall, people of YouTube, it wasn't a bad anime. I actually really liked Ninja Scroll, and if you guys like it, by all means. It's just my personal opinion, and I found the anime to be pretty good, and it does at least warrant a 7 out of 10 for me. This probably is one of the kind of like the highlights of Anime Movie Month. And this anime film is really good. I really like Ninja Scroll. If you kind of turn your brain off and don't really care much about story and like the action and just everything else about the film, then you know what? You're gonna like Ninja Scroll. It's a pretty good film. 7 out of 10 in my book. Thank you, Trans Cowboy, for NC48, for giving me the opportunity to review Ninja Scroll. It was a pretty good anime. I liked it a lot. Thank you. And I know that Ninja Scroll 2, I probably will review it, not right away, but I'll probably save that for probably a later date, maybe still an Anime Movie Month, or maybe I'll just save it for next year. I don't know. I don't care. I got more anime movies to watch, and don't worry, Anime Movie Month is still rolling. I'm freaking putting out anime reviews left and right, baby. Let's keep this going. I feel great. Let's hear it for Anime Movie Month. Hear, hear. Okay. I gotta wrap this video up. Hope you guys enjoyed this anime review. 'Tis I once more, the Crimson Assassin. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And peace, YouTube.